Welcome to MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. I'm MaryAnne. Welcome to my Sun Sign Love Connection and message readings for today. Today is actually the Ides of March, March 15th, 2021. And we are starting with the mid-month readings. We finished from Aries to Pisces for the beginning of the month. So if you haven't seen that and you're interested, just kind of check back. Whoops, I had a little boo-boo on my knuckle I just received. And you want to check back because it kind of really is all like a storyline from, in my opinion anyway, about astrology. There's a roadmap for us from the moment we're born. You know, the indications and the messages from spirit, from oracle divinations, from the tarots. They're all guidance and they're all ways to kind of show us a way to move forward and the energies that can be conducive to that. But it's always also free choice. So I'm excited because we are on mid-months once again, and it's the featured sign of Aries, because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. What's really cool is, and I can't plan these things out, I even started the beginning of the month readings a little bit late, but we have the moon in your sign too, Aries. So that's a double whammy with your energy. And we are actually, you know, we're facing the last week of Pisces season, which has been so amazing and so beautiful for all of us with that new moon that happened on Saturday. Still feeling it, and you probably will for some time, 2 weeks, a month longer. It depends. It depends on what water signs you may have in your chart, and well, that's pretty much predominantly why it would affect you more. If you have a sister water sign or you are a Pisces. But it can also affect you others too. It just depends, you know, it's relative. This is a general reading. But the Aries is the well-known first sign in the zodiac, which basically starts the new year. Okay, in astrology, we are approaching the new year. So I love the feeling of that. And that's what Aries is about. It's about new, it's about beginning. They're a cardinal sign. They're a fire sign. They're spirited and motivated, and they have leadership and confidence. And, you know, they plant the seeds, and they definitely plan on seeing exactly what they want grow from those seeds, regardless of what it is, whether it's relationships or, you know, future work endeavors, you know, all sorts of creative energy with this continuous energy of Pisces, which, by the way, Mercury went into Pisces, and that's all about your communication. And no retrogrades whatsoever, no shadow from Mercury retrograde. That ended on the new moon on the 13th. That just elates me personally. And then, so you're going to find out that a lot of the issues that were happening at the beginning of this year, which is considered New Year in a lot of other ways, no, it was just continuous of tying things up. Finishing things up to start your new year, to start your season, Aries. And I am so excited for you because you have beautiful energy because, like I said, all planets are forward. You're very optimistic, you know, you have that juvenile kind of spirit all your life, this childlike, we can do this, we can make it happen, I'm moving forward, I'm not letting anything from my past stop me, you know, that beautiful, just, I want to say innocence, you know, but also just drive and beautiful, powerful, you know, motivation that you have, that's very contagious. So, and then of course being spring, so your season starts on the 20th, which is Saturday, and then spring's the next day, the spring equinox. So as a cardinal sign, that's what it really means. You initiate the season. I'm going to actually take this off. I don't think it's bleeding anymore. Forgive me if that seems a bit crashed, but I mean, it's driving me nuts right now. I'm going to stick it right back there. So yes, Aries, I'm really enthusiastic for you. I have an Aries moon, and though it's in the later degrees, which means generally that a lot of the effects of Aries tend to happen in 3 different phases, you know, beginning of the month Aries, or beginning Aries, middle, or late degrees. But in whatever planet it is, you know, if it's late degrees, you're going to start feeling it just a little bit later in the month. But I'm already feeling that there's incredible things that I'm trying to tie up and finish up. And I'm so glad to be done and let it be done forever. And so that's what I want to share with you if that's what you're feeling. Now you have, like I said, you're a cardinal a couple times. You also have the ruling planet of Mars. So talk about fire and ambition. I mean, Mars is the warrior, you know, that we're going to make it happen by no matter what. And also the fact that sometimes there's conflict with that. It depends on your temperament. I always suggest that you really sit with things that you want to feel reactive to, because you know sometimes you'll end up saying something you don't want to say. You're passionate, so that's very common for all fire signs, Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. But you have the best and the biggest heart with the best of intentions. And I absolutely love you, and I admire you, and I've had many, many connections in my life that were Aries. And it wasn't a mistake, like I said, with the fire in my chart. But let's see what your highlighted connection is before I say any more. And while I'm checking this out for you, and Spirit is, the highlighted for those that are new, I welcome you with all of my heart. And definitely the returning subscribers, I do want to say, I did my upload yesterday, and it did not upload until this morning. And I don't have an answer for it, but I do them every day and just hope that they're going to upload. So, like I said, the yesterday's, which is the 13th or the 14th, only just uploaded. So if you want to check that out for the Pisces. And then also say that I did switch up on my decks, because I always like to do that from the beginning of the month to the mid-months. So I've changed my beautiful tarot to the Gilded Tarot, one of my favorites. There's something about it that feels right. And now the messages just seem to be brighter and more blessed, if that may. I don't even know if there's such a thing to have more blessings, really, but I'm just being honest with you. And I hope it doesn't come to bite me in the because I said that. I love this deck, so I was asked to bring that back out today, and I switched up a couple of the oracles. So your highlighted connection for today, where you will get 3 additional messages from the tarot as my standard format, is Capricorn. So, I mean, that's an unusual one. I don't see it all the time, but it absolutely is a combination. I've certainly worked with people, and it doesn't necessarily mean romance, but it definitely could mean romance. So remember, love connections are every single aspect of love, okay? So that's what you have today. So you have this beautiful Aries, fiery, passionate, let's get it done attitude. And then you have Capricorn, basically the same. Difference being that Capricorn is an earth element. So whereas you're like this your physicality is what rules your life, you know, and that determination of the ram. They just push forward. If it's wrong, so be it, we'll redo it kind of attitude. Now the Capricorn is the earth element, the symbolism of the goat. Every bit and equally as determined, just more practical, more, you know, a little slower to make the changes that they need to make. Also a cardinal sign though, so that's a really beautiful harmonizing energy for the two of you, which is what connects you a lot of times. The Capricorn initiates the season of winter, which is just around the corner, going to be ending. So there's that kind of interest of the last part of what they would call, you know, almost the barren aspects of winter, where the leaves are off and that, you know, we're hibernating, it's colder, we're maybe not doing as much in our lives because we don't have the opportunity to get out and do so, which is a legitimate reason for all of us anyway. But that's changing really well too. And so, yeah, you have the steadfast, very determined on success, resourceful, money, you know, luxury, everything you can imagine that most people want on a physical, material level. That's what's in the mind of the Capricorn. And that's really basically what they all achieve. I am not just saying that to be nice. I mean, anybody I've known that's an earth sign in general, they're just going to work tirelessly. They don't even consider it work. That's just in their blood. And what with Capricorn having Saturn as their ruling planet, I mean, Saturn is our taskmaster. Saturn is the one where everyone's like, no, not in my sign. But really, you actually love it, because when you are being restricted in some ways so that you don't make mistakes on overspending or overdoing in any area of your life, Saturn's there to help you. And you're going to be so glad. And a lot of times it pertains because Saturn is the teacher, the old, you know, sage, if you will. And it's just about, you know, keeping you in line, you know. And then after you've done whatever, let's just say you started a new study. You want to learn some new language, whatever it is. You're going to school, you know, for the first time or the second or the third. And, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot to take on. It's not necessarily fun because it's a heavier kind of solemn kind of energy when it is Capricorn, being ruled by Saturn. But then in the end, when you complete it, and it usually goes so fast. Let's be real, time goes so incredibly fast. It's in each person's sign like 2.5 years. So by the end of that, you get this amazing reward. So really, Saturn is probably one of our best friends in disguise, you know, especially if you want to look at it that way. And that's what they do. Capricorns appreciate it because they're usually very successful. And they're okay with all that. They're okay with putting that time in. Saturn is also the well-known god of time, you know, and appreciating it and recognizing how valuable it is and what we do with our time and how we share it with others. And, you know, how does that equate to the compensation? So I like this combination a lot because you're both equally as passionate and determined in your own way. You just do it in different forms, but it works well together. It's very complementary. And whereas sometimes I would say, you know, honestly, with no shade whatsoever, Aries have a little bit of impatience and they tend to procrastinate about things. With that beautiful energy in Capricorn, that's this loyal, I want to help you, let's get to the next level, because you're coming, whether you're coming or not, I'm going. Just kind of keeping you grounded and on track is such a beautiful, beautiful friend or lover or any kind of relationship to have, right? So I find it a blessing. I hope that you're feeling that way in this particular reading and that you resonate with the messages that are come through for you. But if you don't, and it isn't necessarily Capricorn that you were wanting to hear about, Aries, stay tuned or fast forward, because the oracles are for every single Aries and every single one of your connections. And I know you have a lot. I know you have friends and associates and family members and pets and whatever it is, work partnerships in every single sign of the zodiac, because that's how you work. You can do that. You can absolutely get along with anybody. But I don't know. I just... I really like this combination. I want to read to you now, like I said, the 3 major categories. The first one is always the overall energy that led you to this reading. It's the catalyst. What's happening at this point in time and since the beginning of the month readings. And what we have for you, the beautiful Aries and Capricorn connections, is, oh my gosh, the Knight of Pentacles. There you go, Capricorn. There you are with your very solid and sound understanding and practical advice and support. And there's the Knight, which is always about messages. And when it's about the Pentacles of Coins, it's about your money. It's definitely about your stability, your safety, your sustenance. All the things that really matter to each and every one of us, sometimes some more to others, definitely a Capricorn, but you can guide and help and you want to do that. You have a great inspiration, and I know this new moon has created that because that's what the Neptune / Pisces, which is Neptune's in Pisces, the Venus in Pisces, you know, now the Mercury in Pisces, which is about compassionate and, you know, caring communication to get to another level, to be able to work through it softer and easier and sensibly with the heart chakra. You know, because honestly, it's how you say things to people and how they're going to react, which is going to make all the difference in the world. And you know that at this point. I don't care what age you are. You know when you say something wrong and it doesn't go over well, you're like, oh, why did I say that? Well, you have this wonderful influence of Pisces that's going to keep you in line that way. And everybody's going to just start feeling more emotional and has been feeling emotional. And not to a point where it's, you know, going to disrupt anything, but it certainly works when it comes to relationships, I'll tell you. And actually feeling like you're heard, you know, is what's really coming through. So, yeah, feeling really good. Look at the green, the plush, the heart. The heart chakra is the green. I feel a lot of real devotion to each other. A lot of interest in something that's going to be for the long term. That's what I always feel with the earth element anyway. And then also taking the time to maybe put some money aside to enjoy each other and go in nature and take your walks and heal if you need to heal some from last year still, because a lot of people are. Everyone does it in their own time. I feel really good. Something very positive is coming your way. It's a slower moving energy when it's the coins, though, with the Knight, but it's permanent. It's lasting. So that's really wonderful. The second category is always the possible blessings or obstacles happening for the two of you. And so what do we have to say? Because, you know, there's so much that could be happening and that you're finishing up and wanting to. That retrograde affected a lot of people. This just popped out for you. Six of Swords. This has been a repeat card for myself in my private readings. It's beautiful. The Swords are the air energy. The air energy is predominant now for the next 600+ years. It was Earth, and it was certainly you last year, Capricorn. So I think Aries has learned a lot from you in this relationship, and I think you've been there to support, as I said, and I think Aries has supported you. It's been a, you know, a very reciprocal kind of energy, which I love in relationships. The Six of Swords, however, is moving out of choppy waters into smoother sailing, smoother waters. You know, not there isn't one person I've spoke to on some level that hasn't experienced some minor or bigger challenges that they have overcome and are continuing to overcome. Because first of all, I mean, like I said, the two of you don't have a mindset of, well, that's it, we're done, I quit. No, those words don't even enter your vocabulary. And this is what you get for that. You get the guidance. There is a guide in this boat. And there are a lot of swords. And you had a lot of conversations, a lot of controversy, a lot of misunderstandings, and you name it. I mean, last year alone, Aries, you had your ruling planet Mars was in your sign for 6 months. I mean, it's you already have that as a fiery kind of thing that keeps you motivated and energetic and wanting to do what you got to do, because sometimes you have many things going on at once. But I will say that when it was in retrograde, you really stopped to think a lot about your relationships, about where you want to go in your life, and that's what it does it for, just to have you really review. And that was a long time, and now I feel like you are so fresh and so ready to start this new whatever it is, even if it's just the new season and sharing it with someone you love. Mind you, the full moon in the background is just that. It culminates things and it absolutely ends things to start the new. And interestingly enough, this full moon in this month, which is on the 28th, is going to be in Libra, which is also an air sign. So yeah, a lot of very beautiful synchronicities in your readings. A lot of positive moving forward energy. How perfect for you, right, Aries? As you start our new year and all the beautiful imaginational type, is that a word, imaginational? Imagining and allowing yourself to create and manifest, which you're very good at. I mean, I understand that about you as well. Just being a little more patient is definitely going to be required, because there's still things you're working through, even through this week. But you're going to like the outcome. There's nothing here that says anything other than good stuff. But we have one more category, and that's of finances. Because finances is important to all of us. And it certainly is to Aries, who usually like to be in charge and lead and be the ones that, you know, are the caretakers, if you will, in a lot of ways. You know, certainly in their family. They take that very seriously, and they want the best. They definitely want the best. So they're going to work for it, and they're going to lean and associate themselves with the right types of energies so that they can excel. And that's a beautiful kind of passionate part of them as well. Your particular message, though, ooh, yeah, it's the Nine of Wands. Okay, so you have taken on a lot of stuff. You have gone through a lot of things this past year leading to this new year for you. It is your solar return. You're like, okay, the 9 is completion. I'm just saying, for all the discussions and all the confusion, and there's been a lot, you never gave up. This is you. This is your fire and your passion. And this is Aries saying, okay, man, I'm right around the corner. I know it. I feel it with every cell of my body. And I'm going to make it work. And it will be successful. And you know this. So hang in there. Hang into your birthday, boy. It may not be a March birthday, but happy birthday to all the Aries in March. I know a lot. And I know a lot in April, my dad, God rest his soul, April 15th, tax day, a month from today. Listen, you have this, and you know you have it. So you just be, like I said, and I've said it a couple times because Spirit is making it clear for me to say, please be patient, okay? Because you know it's there. You can taste it. And this is going to be very, 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 very important because the next one is the 10 of Wands, and that's when it's a whole new cycle. And that's exactly where we're heading. So you got this. You know it. And you know sometimes, and you've learned, if nothing else, with all these responsibility, all these actions that you were held responsible for, which is something you're used to, but it can still weigh heavily. I ask you and invite you with all the love in my heart to just be very careful with your health. You know, when you overdo it, at some point, you can trip accidentally, you can be in a little bit of a rush, preoccupied, you know, and do the simplest of little things that might set you back. So we don't want that to happen. And I'm not a physician, I'm not a medical doctor in any way, I'm just saying. It's another possibility when you have that 9 and he's on his knees, he's like, darn it! Oh, I stubbed my toe. I don't know, hopefully it's just a stubbing of a toe. But good stuff coming. And like I said, you deserve it, especially in a birthday season. And that's when more magical things come along. I love the reading. I mean, it absolutely presents itself to what's happening in our beautiful planetary sky. And it's about you. It's coming up. It's not just yet, but it's coming up this weekend. And I'm really, really excited for you. So I'm going to read for you, Aries, every single one of you, the oracle messages, the guidance, the love, the upliftment, the encouragement, right? The wisdom. And this one I changed is back to the wisdom of the hidden realms. Because I'll say it every time if I need to. We see things, yes, and we do our best to work with what we see, but the things we don't see, they're equally as present. And that's what I am drawn to and have been my whole life. And that's what I hope the people that are watching that are like-minded are feeling and resonating with this channel. The messages come through for a reason, and like I said, you always have free will. I've never been one to say, you must do this and you must pay for this so that you can ward away this kind of energy. That's not what I do. I just want to be real and authentic with you and share with you the messages because I do it every day. I've done it for years. And your card is the Dream Walker. Dreams come very prevalent right now too. With the Piscean energy, there's a lot more messages and answers that come in the dreams. Now, I personally have been having a lot, unfortunately, and I've been praying about it. I ask at night every day, please let me have clear memory and retention and focus of what my dreams are and the messages so that I can write it down and then I can use it and utilize it. It's just a continuum of our brain just trying to work through things. So if you do that now, it's great. And sometimes just talking in your phone so you don't have to write anything down, whatever works for you. There's messages coming through with your dreams, which is also an indication of this card. But the dreams, the collective good, and illusions. Now, the illusions would definitely be the Neptune and Pisces still, which is pretty much on the positive now. Sometimes it can be deceptive and, and that sort of thing certainly when it's in retrograde, but it's not. It's allowing us to use our imagination, like I was trying to say a few times earlier, but had a little trip up. More than we maybe have in a long, long time. Allowing yourself that time to have that respite and to be maybe more internally and away from your normal routine, just to be able to just clarify for yourself, because that's the most important thing anyway. And then, of course, it spills off into your relationships, right? It's number 8. So number 8 is the most predominant as far as abundance, manifestation, prosperity. So, and prosperity is coming because you've got the Knight of Pentacles to give you that information. You could be borrowing, you could be, you could be giving for knowing you, quite frankly. There's loans and things out there that are available to people that you just have to do the paperwork and the footwork with that. So number 8, I'll read to you what it says. When the Dream Walker is your ally, Dreams really do and can come true. Still, there are two kinds. There are the small self and those of the divine. Spirit has a dream for you that is yours alone, and all you need to do is ask, and it will unfold like magic. And I know this so well for you. You also play an important and unique part in the divine dreaming of the world. When you ask, is this dream for me that serves the greater good? Or the greater dream, the most beautiful vision for your life serves the highest good for others too. Just the act of asking will immediately provide the answer. The dream walker is beside you to help you move effortlessly through the illusions, observing the truth, and celebrating the waking dream of your life that results. So I think it's pretty straightforward, and I know you like that. You're a very authentic person yourself. What you see is what you get with Aries. You know, I love you for that. You know, you don't even know how to be fake. Honestly, you're terrible at it. You know, unless you're an amazing actor, which you could be as well, but that's a job. That's a whole different thing. So yeah, you are just stay being your true self. And, you know, it's all going to be presented to you as it always is. So I love that a lot, and I honestly, I really feel like it's very, very appropriate for you. The next oracle, which I love, and it's very simple, I'm just going to read you the message on the card and the number. And it is the Psychic Tarot of the Heart. I need to bring the heart back in because the Piscean energy, and I do have a Pisces rising, and just the heart and the emotions that are happening for everybody. And it's really important that you stay in tune with that, no matter what you do. Always listening to your heart and staying true to your heart. Yours are popping out today, Aries. I can't even see past my nose right now. Let me read you what it says. First of all, it's a 15, which is the date. Secondly is master, because that's what you are. You are the master of your life, your world, whatever it is you choose and want. Yes, there's co-creation, and yes, we have to realize that, because that's absolutely true. There are things out of our control, and if that wasn't noticed last year, I don't know what would be, right? It didn't matter what a lot of us wanted to do. We had to allow the changes to occur, which in the end is always for us anyway. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card. Look at you and look at your heart, but it's in a cage. I have to read more. I really do. Now, I would have just gone with that. And 15 is today's date, but it's also a 6, and that's about everyday situations. The 6th house is about everyday needs, wants, you know, sustenance, work, relationships, all the health. Being in tune with that, keeping it balanced, you know, and making sure that you're aware of the things that need to be handled and taken care of, you know, as I said. But let me go into it because, so let me just check really quickly. This is a major arcana. So it's broken up into major arcanas as well as chakras and all the different elements. Keywords: fear, identity, release, negativity, freedom, and love. Wow, that says a lot. Fear and doubt often prevent a relationship from flowering or from manifesting. In matters of the heart, they can restrict and confine. So there is that restriction in this situation, right? Or usually self-induced. I'm going to just say it right now, because that's the 8 of Swords as well. You know, our own self-inflicted thoughts, the swords of the mind, right? They prevent you from opening to the joy and love that's waiting for you. A fearful heart closes in upon itself and sees only negatively and doubt. Your fears can even make you question your own value, causing you to wonder whether you're worthy of being loved or if you'll ever find love. These thoughts are not controlled. Will manifest more of the same. No, these thoughts, if not controlled, I'm so sorry. These thoughts, if not controlled, will manifest more of the same. Exactly. Like attracts like, even if it's not like. Continuing in a never-ending destructive cycle. Let's hang in there. It's time to take action. To master your fears, you must first identify them. When fears about love have allowed yourself to believe, what fears about love have allowed yourself to believe? Are you concerned about being unlovable? Are you uneasy about giving up freedom in order to be in a relationship? I mean, you know, Aries are very freedom seeking, but when you have your heart, when you are in love and your heart's been captured, you know, the Cupid bow, whatever you want to say, it's the real deal. You don't mess around. By the very act of facing your fears, you will recognize them from the deceptions that they are. And you will discover the power to master and eliminate them. You most certainly will. The absence of fear is unconditional love. Please take time to look at your fears and doubts so you can release them. Just before your birthday, man, you can do this. And you want to. You don't want to carry that into this year. No need to. This will free you to manifest joyful and loving relationships. Know that you can have the relationships you desire. Act now to release your fears and open your heart, and I trust you will do that. I know you have that confidence. I think I'm talking to this percentage of Aries because you have great confidence, and I've always been in awe of that in all aspects of your life. If you believe you can be in a relationship, it happens. I now release my fears and open fully to loving relationship with myself and others. So the archetype for this other card would be the devil. And that's so cool because that's exactly right. The devil is there to remind us that you don't have to be thinking the way you do. If you have addictions, if you have things that your vices in life, okay, so be it. Face it straight on, get the help you need, work through it. You're not a bad person. You just need a little help, or you need to believe that you are better than that. And that's not something you want in your life, right? So I'm really going on about this, but I love it because that's what we need to do, what you need to feel and to create for yourself to start your beautiful new season, your solar return. And I know that's there for the few and the very few of you that are still kind of going through some things emotionally, because we do. You know, it's part of being in a human body, isn't it? The final card, and I do want to add, if I may, if you have not subscribed, I would love you to subscribe. It's such a loving act, and it's simple, and it doesn't cost anything, and YouTube really wants it. So, they'll share it. They'll continue to let me, bring content, which is so important for me on my path. And I'm just putting it out there, okay, if you so feel inclined. This is the Super Attractor Manifestation deck. Basically everything that's been said. Just the cherry on the cake, if you will, because it's about how we can do that at any time. And once again, I know you have the capability. I feel like you've done it a lot already, whether small or large, and now you can really just put this to the test. And so your beautiful, I call it affirmation or mantra for the day, for all the Aries and all their I haven't seen this in so long, their beautiful, beautiful connections of love. It's a bird, it's like the springtime bird. The universe is always conspiring to support me, guide me, and lead me compassionately toward the highest good. It's so true. It's so true, and I find it over and over again because of the days that I have my doubts, and I'm human like everybody. And then once again, there comes the Creator, there comes Source, my higher power, just saying, because I'm listening and I ask many times, giving me the answers and just freeing me of the fears, which really can hold us all back. That's gorgeous. That's just for you, Aries. I love you and appreciate you, and I'm really excited for this reading and for your life and for things to unfold exactly as you want them to, because I know you deserve it. You work really hard. I want you to embrace and thrive in your relationships, whatever they may be, and I appreciate you taking the time for today, okay? Take extremely good care. Until next time, thank you again, and bye for now.